We're live to Dapp University. So today we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. You know, lots happened since our live stream yesterday. We do these streams every single Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time on this channel. So make sure you turn on notifications down below. Show up back here for those streams whenever they happen. But today we're going to talk about a really big deal for the entire crypto space and a lot more. We're going to look at, a DeFi hack that happened lately, some crazy cryptocurrencies that are just taking off out of nowhere. All right. And this whole market is absolutely insane right now. Okay, so before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, we got people jumping in the chat here. We got Culture Hives, Camjock, I hope I'm saying that right, Kurt, Space, Stocks, Diego, awesome, welcome. So let's go ahead and jump into the first big news item for today. And this is really a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my screen here. So you can now buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on Venmo. All right, so this is a big deal. So we've seen a lot of stuff happen with institutional adoption, not institutional, but wider adoption, mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies. Saw PayPal roll out support for this relatively recently, where you can, purchase cryptocurrency on their platform and now pay merchants with it. We've seen Visa collaborating with Crypto.com to actually settle payments on the Ethereum blockchain underneath the hood. And now we're seeing, Venmo roll out support for cryptocurrencies on their platform. Okay, so this is a big deal. One of the reasons that I'm so excited about this is because, to me, Venmo is a very different user base than PayPal. So there will definitely be significant overlap in their users. But think about this. There are lots of people that I would personally know who have a Venmo account that don't have a PayPal account, okay? So think about it this way. I mean, Venmo is sort of the go-to solution for paying your friends, right? Something like that. Like you got a roommates, you want to pay, give them a little bit of money to pay rent or something like that. Venmo is sort of a go-to option. No, Cash App is an option. They support, Bitcoin. Or like you went out and had dinner and you decided, I'm going to pay my buddy back who covered the tab. Well, Venmo is a pretty common option for that. It's got the social aspect to it, which shows you by default, like what you paid for. Well, there's a note in there. And so now we're talking about introducing cryptocurrency in the equation. So there will be some limits to this for sure. There'll be limits on, which cryptocurrencies you can buy, but for now they have support for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Okay. They don't limit how much you can have, but they have a minimum of at least worth $1. Let's see. You can't transfer cryptocurrency into the app. You can't just use it as an fiat on-ramp and off-ramp where basically you're just using this as your, cryptocurrency wallet and transferring coins in and out of it to other exchanges or other wallets, something like that. It all has to be in the application, which is a limiting factor for sure. We could see maybe that changes over time. But either way, the big picture here is we're now tapping into a user base of 70 million users. Okay, I should have said that at the beginning of the article here. 70 million people. So I guarantee you in that 70 million person group, there's a significant number of people who'd never touched cryptocurrency before. And now they have the option to just with a matter of clicks, acquire some with an application that they already use all the time that has money sitting into it. There's not this friction of I need to go to an exchange, sign up, KYC, link my bank account, transfer money in, or, put my debit card into an app that I've never done before. No, it's all right here already. They're using this app. All they have to do is click over. We saw that was the huge thing about PayPal. It's also true for this. Okay. So, yeah, it's a big deal. So there's limitations. I'd love to see these limitations so maybe some of them be relaxed over time, but, I definitely won't complain about this. This is huge. So let's go ahead and look at the markets today. This is something we'll keep an eye on because, like I said, we're seeing more and more people head down this road. I mean, if we'd seen anything like this in early 2020 or 2018, 2019, like it would have been absolutely insane, especially during the bear market when people were like freaked out thinking crypto was never going to come back again. Any news like this would have been major. And sometimes people just think like, oh, well, yeah, if you're new to crypto and you're seeing this and crazy, all this bullish stuff come out like week after week, like so one of the only reasons I can do these live streams is because there's so much good stuff to talk about. You might be taking some of this for granted. Like it doesn't always happen this way. We're seeing things move at an absolutely rapid, breakneck pace. And I've never seen anything like it before. Definitely was not like this in 2017. Definitely was not like this during the bear market. There's something very different about what we're seeing right now. Okay, so let's jump into the markets now. Of course, we've been seeing quite a bit of red over the weekend and even into this week. We kind of talked a lot about the Coinbase hype was real, at least for a few days. And then we saw, a lot of leverage trading over the weekend, a lot of blowups. Some red got people kind of freaked out. And I started getting a little cautious over the past couple days. So I don't want it to be a fake out. I want to still remain cautiously bullish. That's kind of my attitude. Always not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Look at what I'm invested in and how do I feel about the long term. Again, I'm not a big trader and I'm a TA guy. Looking at the long term view here. But yeah, we definitely see a big rebound here in like the ETH price. Bitcoin still got some bearishness to it, right? But we'll just have to wait and see, right? One thing I do want to call out is the ETH to BTC ratio. So this is something that people follow. And it's basically looking at the performance of the Ethereum price compared to the Bitcoin price. So it's just a ratio, just divide the numbers. And so basically, this is something that people watch out for when they're trying to see like how is Ethereum performing compared to their Bitcoin holdings. So like essentially if you bought in here when the ratio was really low and you now hold to like this point, that means your ETH has like significantly outperformed your Bitcoin. So this is something people watch. There's a lot of people who are looking out for the flippening. Like basically they think ETH is going to flip Bitcoin. I'm not forecasting that happening in the future. I think it is possible simply because there's more that you can do with Ether over Bitcoin. But definitely the people who are like just waiting for the day when ETH flips Bitcoin, they watch this up a lot, and it's significant that it's reaching its high for at least the past year. So we'll see if we break it. We'll see if we set a new all-time high on the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. People do this a lot. They check other coins' performance compared to Bitcoin. Some people do it to kind of read where the market's headed, like what's going on with, is it an altcoin season or et cetera, et cetera. But that's one thing I wanted to call out for today. So another thing is SafeMoon. So, people are SafeMoon's getting kind of crazy. This is definitely not a project that I was involved in any way, shape, or form. But I was making a joke yesterday about people who just enter the space in like January or something like that. Maybe they YOLO'd into Dogecoin and outperformed everybody who's been really careful or really smart in the crypto markets, right? It's the same thing with SafeMoon. So basically, anybody who just bought at the beginning of this month has like way outperformed everybody. But look what's happening now. I mean, we're seeing these these absolutely gnarly dips. Okay, so be really careful. I mean, I know. It's kind of funny to look at it here, when I'm analyzing the prices, but I know there's a lot of people that are getting wrecked by this, so I'm not trying to like make fun of anybody or be like, callous to anybody's pain. Trust me, I've been there. That's part of the reason that I laugh. The laughing is a little bit of a coping mechanism. I mean, I have been hardened by absolutely disastrous cryptocurrency crashes. I weathered up the entire bear market that we went through the last 2 years. I've seen, major amounts of money go up and down and down, down. So I've just gotten used to it over time. And part of it's the only way that you can actually cope with this kind of stuff. So be careful out there. I try to shy people away from really sketchy projects. I'll say sketchy. I don't be careful what I say, but I just be careful. I'll put it that way. So anyways, one thing to look at too, I'm going to go back to this as we were talking about, mainstream adoption of cryptos, etc. Let's look at the another thing. We're talking about this trend of companies accepting cryptocurrencies and then holding it. So we've seen this a lot where basically I think I also lost some people on the safe moon there. So like cryptocurrencies, basically, what I'm trying to say here, people accepting cryptocurrencies being really good for cryptocurrency adoption, and then basically holding their cryptocurrencies, not selling it. So we saw this with Tesla, okay, where Tesla is letting you buy cars with Bitcoin, and then they're going to hold it. They're not going to sell it. They don't convert to fiat currency at the point of sale. So we're seeing more and more people do this. We saw Time Magazine doing this earlier this week, and we just got news of another one. Okay, so this is WeWork. Okay, so WeWork is now partnering with BitPay and Coinbase, and they're going to use cryptocurrency for inbound, outbound transactions. That's crazy. Okay, inbound and outbound transactions. And then I saw this. Let's see here. Okay, then they say they will also hold the cryptocurrency on the balance sheet. So that's huge. With Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD Coin, and Paxos. Okay, several other cryptocurrencies as payment for its offerings. So this is a trend that I expect to continue. Again, we're seeing more and more and more stuff come out about this in a relatively small amount of time. So what does that indicate? That indicates a trend, or a trend is happening, or likely happening. I think this is huge. I mean, this is more. This is how we see the needle really move fast. The more you do, more stuff you can do with crypto, the more valuable it is. Network effect. We talked about that with Venmo. Okay, Venmo, PayPal, all that. More people you can pay with crypto. PayPal's enabling you to do that, turning it on for like all these merchants where now anybody who has a PayPal account can just pay with cryptocurrency to checkout points. You can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. There's more you can do with the cryptocurrency. The more valuable, there's more incentive to hold it. And also with companies who are now receiving these payments and they're saying, we're not going to sell it. We're going to take it and we're just going to hold on to it. So they're holding it, which is going to increase. It's going to decrease the sell pressure. I mean, they might sell it in the back end. I mean, I think they're sort of like, if you just made $1 billion in crypto, like you're probably going to take some risk off the table when these companies that have like really big balance sheets. But it's huge. You know, for anybody who's just taking it, they're holding on to it. It's major. So let's also look at another thing I saw yesterday. This kind of ties back into what I was talking about with SafeMoon a minute ago. So talk a little about Binance Smart Chain. So we saw this yesterday, kind of floating around on Twitter. So this is from PancakeSwap. So this is the Uniswap fork on Binance Smart Chain. So it says, no, PancakeSwap isn't slow. Binance Smart Chain is overloaded right now. So we have an all-time high number of people using the site. So you have to think about this. I've talked a lot on this channel about Binance Smart Chain. You know, it was kind of like, it caused a lot of drama a while back because, you know, the BNB coin went up like crazy. And, you know, there's a lot of like narratives that BNB is an ETH killer, you know, all this kind of stuff. But we've talked, if you've part of what I want to do this channel is kind of give you the truth, give you the technical fundamentals of what's happening underneath the hood and behind the scenes as to why this has happened. So like basically, you know, if Ethereum, people are about Ethereum being too slow, too expensive to use, nobody's ever going to use it, then all these other killers are going to come out. Well, you have to ask yourself, why are these other chains or solutions, why are they cheaper to use? Why are they faster? Why are they achieving scalability? We talk about the scalability trilemma, where you're sacrificing, or you're trying to get the best trade-off of decentralization, security, and scalability. And usually some projects cut the corners on one of those three in order to achieve what Ethereum hasn't done, okay? So we talked about, you know, Binance Smart Chain basically kind of making some compromise in the decentralized area to achieve the benefits that it has now. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, right? I'm not saying that, like, that's wrong to do. No, it's just, that's what it is. And so you have to understand it. Now, I do have a problem with people like false advertising, right? If you're not like being upfront with what you're doing, that's different. Or not just being upfront, but if you're like deliberately misleading people, that's different. But from technical fundamentals, that's kind of what's happening. So we're seeing some of the pain of that. So part of it is like basically when you fork Ethereum, which is what Binance Smart Chain has done, and you just raise the gas limit and you just start like letting people shove data in there, at some point the state size, like the size of the entire blockchain, becomes unwieldy And the actual clients that run the blockchain itself aren't really fit to handle that. Okay. And I think we're starting to see some of that come to a head. Okay. So it's not financial advice. I'm not saying like, beware, all your projects are going to explode on Binance Smart Chain or anything like that. But we could see some problems in the future. I'm not saying there's no solutions to these, that there's no like things they can do to improve this, but we're definitely, it's sort of like when you it's like a label on your mattress or whatever, and it's like if you don't don't break this seal, you avoid your warranty or something like that, the penalty of law or something. That's sort of what we're talking about. Like we sort of avoided the warranty here, and we just don't know what's going to happen next. And you have to understand this type of stuff if you're getting into blockchain, because like you have your money inside of a giant experiment right now. I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true. Like if you hold a sizable amount of any cryptocurrency, it's all like an experiment. Okay. So, we see, let's see here. So we see Ethereum core developer here, like literally the developer of Geth. So he's patiently waiting for BNB to implode. So it's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. So part of what I'm trying to say here is, exercise caution, because all this stuff is still risky. Like despite what anybody tells you, it's still risky. There's lots of technical moving parts underneath the hood, and this is yeah. I think you get the point. So we're talking about risk here. We did see another DeFi hack recently that I wanted to talk about. So this is DeFi protocol EasyFi reports lost funds. Okay, so the title here says over 80 million in funds. I think I saw different numbers floating around. I'm not sure if that's the right one or not. But basically, a really quick, and part of this is on a layer 2 solution. So really quickly, I'll hit the bullet points here. Said the hacker transferred about 2.9 million easy tokens, which are worth around $25 a piece at the time. I think the price has gone down, $75 million. Yanked about 6 million from liquidity pools, transferred to an unknown wallet. So basically, the private keys to the network admin MetaMask account had been compromised through a computer. Okay, so yeah, basically, this is why it's really important to keep private keys. So I don't know the details. I'm not trying to like shame anybody. I'm a builder. I know how hard this stuff is. Like I'm not blaming anybody. The whole point I'm trying to make here is like these DeFi things happen. This is still a new space. This is why I definitely try to tell people to exercise caution. Like don't put your life savings in DeFi. I think it's great to make some money. You know what I mean? You just got to be careful. All this stuff is still early. It's still experimental. And the only reason I bring this stuff up is to let you all know about it. And also technical people watching this channel, developers, all that kind of stuff. You always want to have your projects thoroughly audited. And this doesn't look like an auditing issue. It looks more like sort of like an OPSEC kind of issue here. But yeah, definitely be careful out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and check on the... I'm going to go back to the prices here. So we can look at the ETH market here. So we see a pretty good green candle. Okay. So we saw this was sort of the Coinbase hype and then the massive blow up that happened after, especially with the leverage. And we're seeing a pretty big green candle. So like I said, I'm optimistically bullish here. Or sorry, not optimistically, cautiously bullish. Very, very important distinction. So yeah, this is encouraging, but let's just wait and see what happens. It could be another fake out. Let's go ahead and look at the on-chain metrics. So I'll pull these up here. We can look at the Newpol chart on Bitcoin. So this is a metric. If you watch this channel regularly, I like to check this. This is on-chain metrics. I love on-chain data because, like say I'm a developer. I like to look at the chain, like to analyze it. And I think it's a really great way of understanding kind of what's happening rather than relying on TA only. So there's lots of great channels out there that do TA. I don't think TA is bad or anything. You just got to use it right. And that's not really my strong skill set. So our Newpol metric is down to 0.66. And this to me is bullish for the overall health of the market, okay? Because the more headroom we make here, that means the higher we can potentially run this bull cycle, assuming that the prices continue to go up. We're seeing stuff like the ETH BTC ratio change, which I was talking about a minute ago. If we go back and look at the Bitcoin price, it still looks a little bearish, okay, but a lot of other stuff is looking bullish, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a little bit of encouragement here, but if you look on the 7-day, it's still like kind of bearish. So we'll see what happens there. But the whole reason I'm saying that is, this is giving the Bitcoin market some headroom to ride, but we're seeing some of this flow down into smaller cap projects, and then especially with ETH, we're seeing some gains there. So I imagine we're seeing lots of other coins kind of start to gain some ground relative to Bitcoin for sure. And the good news is when we have this Nupal metric kind of give us more headroom, that means we could potentially make a higher high for longer, which, hey, that'd be great. It sucks people who are losing money at the top of the current market, but there's lots of people in there who are trading with leverage who know well the risks that they're getting into. So I don't really feel that bad for those people, but I do feel more bad for like the kind of newcomers who get in and sell quickly because they get scared. So let's see if we got any questions here in the chat. So what do I think about, let's see here. So somebody says, why Dapp University became such a snake oil? Check out the channel. All videos are like, OMG, this is big. Ethereum will pump. Well, I've never actually said that Ethereum will pump in any of the videos. But I guess the next question is like, have you watched a YouTube video? That's kind of like how this game works. Okay, so let's see here. I sold my 5.5K Doge last year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sucks. Well, I've never touched Doge, so don't feel too bad. Let's see here. Investing makes my stomach wrench. Yeah, I know how that goes. Let's see here. How much does the average blockchain coder make in dollars? Well, we can look it up. So somebody wants to know what's the average blockchain developer make. So we can look at the stats here on Recruiter. So let's see here. I'm gonna look it up. Somebody says this space is not for weak people. That is true. So, but the good news is, if you're, if you're faint of heart, you can develop the strength to endure the crypto markets. I mean, it was the first time I got into crypto, I lost a lot of money. All right. Lost a lot of money. Sorry, I'm looking up the data on the current blockchain salaries here. Somebody wanted to know what's an average blockchain coder make. So I was like, well, I'll just show you what the data says. So let's look at ZipRecruiter. So average blockchain developer salary, this is for somebody in America with experience for sure. That's what the average is. Currently on ZipRecruiter is $154,000 per year. So, I mean, that being said, you do have to read in the data a little bit. It's the average. There's a lot of people who are making a lot more than that. All right, so they're kind of skewing the average, but you can still see a median here. It's kind of like, or a mode, I would say. That's kind of like, 124,000 to... so like 116,000 to 136,000. So it's 34% of all jobs are in this bracket. So even new people are making, close to $100,000 per year. So again, that is on a recruiting platform. So different platforms say different things. Your mileage may vary for sure. But if you look at, just compare it to like other things. Okay, so if you were going to say average web developer salary on the same platform, like literally just comparing the apples to apples, ZipRecruiter. So if you just like look at ZipRecruiter and compare that to like average web developer salary, it's like over twice, or it's about, yeah, it's over twice. Okay, so again, you could say like maybe this particular platform is just high compared to other things. Maybe it's not, but even if that was the case, like still compared to mobile developers, it's not a blockchain website, so it wouldn't have necessarily any bias towards that. It's just like it's way more. So the whole reason for that is basically supply and demand economics. It's a really high in demand skill, and on the grand scheme of things, not that many people know how to do the job. And that's what makes the salary go up. And for people, I mean, some people also say, hey, people, you see a lot of people up here making a ton of money that definitely skew the average. Those are people who are very, very, very good, lots of experience, highly trained experts. But it's not like it's only experts in the field. There's plenty of people who need relatively new developers to work in the field. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of jobs like that. You can go to my YouTube homepage and see the videos I've posted with other people who have gotten jobs who are pretty new. So we got some more questions. So what do I think about Safe Moon? I would say be careful. That's what I would say. So which blockchain language is best to learn? Do they vary much? I would definitely learn Solidity, smart contracts. Start there and then branch out. So I got a bunch of questions here. Sorry, I'm trying to read them. The chat's moving so fast. So let's see here. Somebody said Binance Smart Chain is beating Cardano network. Well, they don't have smart contracts yet on Cardano, so that's part of the reason. So if I had $1,000 right now, what would I invest in? So yeah, I'm not really doing financial advice, so I'll skip out of that one. Somebody said pullback coming soon. It very well could. Somebody says, will Solidity be relevant if other languages gain traction? Oh, yes, of course it will. Part of that's the massive number of applications that have already been built in Solidity. So we've seen this with other programming languages in the past. So first of all, no indication that Solidity is going anywhere anytime soon or that other languages are going to like overtake it. There's no indication of that. But let's just say it did like decrease in relevance. There's still lots of applications that use it that are not going away. Because don't forget, like once an app's on the blockchain, it's there forever. And like there's like, I mean, Uniswap version 1's still there. Like people still use that to do ARBs and stuff like that, and like trade other tokens and you provide liquidity. So the apps are there forever. It's not like a hosting provider just had like it's like if you had built an app at a company that was like built in an older language, I don't know, something crazy like Perl, right? Or something. I don't know. Something old that not a lot of people use now. Like that, the company could just turn that off and then it never has to be maintained again and it has no utility. But now, like we have these apps that are built on top of the blockchain that people can still use like basically forever as long as the blockchain's there. And knowing the languages to interact with those will still have value. Somebody said ETH has been well overdue for a pump. Yeah, it could happen. Somebody says, what is this new project? Risk Moon. Yeah, no, it definitely will not moon safely. That's for sure. Do you have any thoughts on NFTs? Yeah, I think they're awesome. I think they have a lot of long-term potential. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps these videos out so more people can learn about blockchain. You're as fascinated with this technology as I am. You want to get your hands dirty. How can you get started today? You go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely. Actually, become a blockchain master step-by-step over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, you don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right, so that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks.